US President Donald Trump wasted no time on his first day in office, reaffirming his commitment to a pro-oil and gas policy that was central to his campaign. In a bold inaugural address, Trump declared a national energy emergency and repeated his familiar rallying cry, "Drill, baby, drill," signaling his determination to leverage America's vast natural resources to boost economic growth and ensure energy independence. Upon taking the oath of office, Trump made clear his intent to prioritize the U.S. energy sector. This is what he said. His remarks were not just symbolic, but set the tone for the administration's immediate policy plans. Shortly after the inauguration, Trump signed a series of executive orders aimed at rolling back regulations on the oil and gas industry, reversing key environmental protections put in place by the previous administration. Among the expected moves are measures that will loosen emissions regulations imposed under the Biden administration, including restrictions on the oil and gas sectors. Additionally, the Trump administration is expected to end green energy subsidies. A spokesperson for the White House confirmed that these changes are just the beginning, with more executive actions anticipated in the coming days and weeks as the Trump administration moves forward with its pro-business and pro-energy agenda. To give context, "Drill Baby Drill" was a slogan first popularized during the 2008 Republican campaign, originally introduced at the Republican National Convention by Michael Steele, the former Lieutenant Governor of Maryland. Steele, who would later become the chairman of the Republican National Committee, used the phrase to advocate for increased drilling of petroleum and natural gas as key sources of energy. The slogan gained even more visibility when Republican vice presidential nominee Sarah Palin adopted it during the 2008 vice presidential debate. Over the years, the phrase remained a staple of Republican rhetoric, symbolizing support for expanded energy production through fossil fuels. It was revived by President Donald Trump during his 2024 presidential campaign, where he used it prominently to rally support for energy independence and oil and gas sectors. Trump continued to use the slogan during his 2024 Republican National Convention speech and carried it into his 2025 inaugural address, emphasizing his commitment to U.S. energy dominance and fossil fuel development.
To address the cost of living crisis that has cost Americans so dearly. Thank you, sir. The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. Yes, sir. We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty. And the next item, sir, is a letter that will be transmitted to the United Nations explaining that we are withdrawing from the Paris Climate Treaty. Thank you, sir. This next item is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward. And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.